Hello and welcome to this introduction to ACCA F7 financial reporting. In this brief introduction we're going to cover three things. We're firstly going to look at the F7 syllabus to give you an idea of what you'll be covering in the course. We'll then look at the exam format and we'll finish off by looking at a brief summary of the differences between the paper-based and the computer-based exam. Okay, let's firstly look at an overview of the syllabus. You can see that the syllabus is broken down into four key areas. Syllabus Area A looks at the conceptual and regulatory framework for financial reporting. This accounts for 5% of your F7 syllabus, and in here we'll be looking at the conceptual framework and mainly focusing on the recognition and measurement rules that you'll apply to the key elements of the financial statements. Syllabus Area B will cover the accounting for transaction and financial statements, and this is where we'll look at all of your key accounting standards. Now, Syllabus Area B is a key area for F7. It's likely to make up quite a significant part of your exam, and therefore it's something that you do want to spend your time on studying. It makes up 40% of the syllabus, and we'll be looking, as I said, at some of the key accounting standards, covering things such as tangible non-current assets, intangible assets, how those assets can be impaired. We'll look at inventory, financial instruments, leasing, provisions. We'll look at your accounting standard on tax, revenue, government grants, and some foreign currency transactions. Syllabus Area C looks at analysing and interpreting financial statements. This accounts for 25% of the F7 syllabus, and in this part of the syllabus we'll be looking at the calculation and interpretation of accounting ratios. We'll basically understand what the financial statements tell us about a company, and we'll focus on some of the limitations of financial statements and interpretation techniques also. And that takes us on to the last area of the syllabus. So Syllabus Area D covers the preparation of financial statements. This accounts for 30% of the F7 syllabus, and again is a key area that's likely to appear in the exam. What we'll look at under Syllabus Area D is the preparation of both a single company and group or consolidated financial statements. Okay, let's look at the format of the exam then. As you can see, there are three sections to the exam. Section A comprises 15 multiple choice questions worth 2 marks each. And in those multiple choice questions, you will be given 4 potential options and you'll need to select the correct option. Section A of the exam can cover all areas of the syllabus, so therefore it's likely to include multiple choice questions on key accounting standards, interpretation, and also the preparation of accounts. Section B of the exam is 3 multiple choice case scenarios worth 10 marks each. So in each case you will have 5 multiple choice questions, and those 5 multiple choice questions will all be linked to the one scenario that you'll be given as a case in the exam. Again, there will be 4 potential options and you'll have to select the correct option. Section B of the exam is likely to focus on Syllabus Area B, but obviously it can cover any area of the syllabus. But what we would expect to see in here is the accounting for key accounting standards. So looking at some of the examples that we discussed when we went through Syllabus Area B earlier on. And finally, Section C of the exam has 2 constructive response questions worth 20 marks each. Now, a constructive response question is what we would have originally referred to as a written question, so a written type answer. Section C of the F7 exam is likely to focus on 2 key areas, so Syllabus Area C and D. So what we would expect to see in Section C of the exam is a question on interpretation of the financial statements and also a question on the preparation of financial statements, so whether that be single company accounts preparation or group accounts preparation. The exam is 3 hours 15 minutes. There's no longer any separate reading time, so the full 3 hour 15 minutes can be spent answering the questions given in the exam, there's a 50% pass mark, and in the F7 paper it will make up approximately 65% numerical questions and 35% discursive questions. Now remember, those discussion questions can also appear as a multiple choice question, so a lot of the multiple choice questions will be narrative, not just numerical, to make up that 35% of the exam. Okay, and finally let's look at a brief summary of the differences between the paper-based exam and the computer-based exam that is now available. In the previous section, when we discussed the exam format, that was in relation to the paper-based exam. If we now look at the computer-based exam, you can see that there are also the same 3 sections available in the exam. In section A, it will be made up of what we now call an OTQ, so it won't just be multiple choice questions, it will now be objective testing questions in the computer-based exams. Those objective testing questions can make up a number of different formats. They could be multiple choice question, they could be a multiple response question where you're asked to select 2 correct answers from maybe a possible 5 options. They could be what we call a number entry question where you have to do a calculation and type in the number. Or it could be a hot area where you click on a box that you believe is the correct statement. Or it could also be a drop down box option where you have to select the correct option. Section B, again, will be your 3 case studies with the 5 questions within each case study. But again, in the computer-based exam, they will no longer just be multiple choice questions. They can be any of the objective type questions that we discussed that could be available in section A. So section A and section B will both consist of objective testing questions. Section C, again, will be your constructive response question. However, in the computer-based exam, instead of obviously writing it out on paper, you will now type it into either a spreadsheet if it's a numerical calculation or a word processing document if it's a discursive question. Okay, I hope you found that introduction to the F7 paper useful. Enjoy your course and good luck with your studies and the exam.